it's a very interesting lawsuit. There are some stuff in it where we just really roll our eyes, and there's a lot of information that's missing in this document as well. One of the key information that they don't mention was that Alexee Trevizo's newborn was found in a trash bin in a plastic bag, tied up. They don't mention that whatsoever, but they mention all the other wrongdoings that the hospital did. Now, there are some things that I thought was kind of interesting. They talk about the hospital breaking HIPAA, and I don't know. I guess like they're saying that they allowed police officers to come in with their body cam footages, and then it recorded everything, and they released that, and that's breaking HIPAA. Da, da, da. So I don't know. I thought that'd be pretty interesting because I don't really know too much about that. But I think everything else that they brought in the lawsuit, I thought it was kind of like, I don't know. We'll see what happens. She is going to be facing trial beginning of next year, but her lawyer and her family has also decided to sue the hospital as well. And so I just want to go over the the complaint right now. And there are some parts where we're gonna roll our eyes, and there are gonna be some parts where I'm like, that's interesting. I wonder if that would hold up. And yeah, let's just read it, dude. I don't know. I'm so thrown off right now. We'll just get to it. But I do want to start with we're not going to watch entire footages, but because I think we already kind of had a little bit of a preview that her and her family were going to sue the hospital. Rosa, her mom right there, did mention it a couple of times. So I want to start with this one over here where they go to arrest her.
I'll give you a copy. She gets a copy.
Slow down.
Can I see the warrant?
It's an arrest warrant for her. It's
Okay,
not a
can I
search
see the
warrant for your
arrest
house.
warrant? I want to see the arrest warrant.
And what will that prove?
So they're going to arrest her right now. Mom is not having it. Mom wants to see the arrest warrant. Mom actually has arrest warrant and warrant to search the house confused because she's saying that, like, you guys can't come here and arrest my daughter without showing me the arrest warrant. You have to show it to me. And so I think she's a little bit confused because if they were going there to search her house, yeah, they have to show her the warrant. But they're going there to arrest her adult daughter. They don't have to show her the warrant, but they can show the daughter the warrant, and the mom can be nearby and listen in on, okay, why are they arresting my daughter? Her family unsettles me.
When this is over, I'm coming for the police department and the hospital. I am.
Yes, ma'am.
The threats. Here are the threats. Here are the threats, man. So she said she's coming for the hospital and she's coming for the police department.
Okay.
That are usually on all of everybody's insurance.
Okay.
This is back in January, roughly a couple days after Alexee Trevizo gave birth.
Did you hear about, like, HIPAA was broke and there's like a whole bunch of rumors out?
I heard there was rumors through the high school.
Yeah.
The nurses do talk, but yeah, that's just small town stuff.
But that shouldn't have happened.
It shouldn't
That's why
have.
it's HIPAA.
And
you
I know. Well, and because I was reading on that, and like on Facebook, everyone's doing all that stuff. Because we did do a disclosure, and that was through our person of contact. That's our PSU command supervisor. So he did do one. He didn't put any name in it or anything like that. And that's just something he did because he was being asked about it for so long.
Okay.
So that one was done, but then I hear like the high school's talking a lot.
Yeah. I had teachers message me and everything. So.
Really? So everyone already knows.
Yeah. That's the bad thing about a small town.
Yeah, that is the best thing about a small town.
But
Okay, and then I want to go to this video over here. This one's really short, by the way. It's like 2 minutes long.
Detective Enter as well.
This is, sorry, I guess I should have went in chronological order. That is my fault. We're in April 26th. She hasn't been arrested yet.
he told us not to say anything. No statement from Lexi. No, I don't know. That's just what he's telling us.
Okay, well, I just sense she's involved. She's not a juvenile. She is the adult.
I understand that, Mr. Gonzalez. I understand that.
And all we need all we're going to ask her is, do you want to talk to us? And it's a yes or a no. If she says no, then we turn around and you won't see us again.
If she says yes, talk to your lawyer, and we'll set up a time, okay?
That's it. That's all we need. That's it.
It's just the issue.
So I'm not really quite sure. Maybe the mom thinks that she's being tricked by law enforcement or something. But law enforcement is just saying that, like, hey, we just need to hear from your daughter, not you, Rosa, because your daughter is over 18 years old. She's considered an adult. We need to hear from your daughter saying that, okay, she does not want to talk to us without a lawyer present, or I don't want to talk to you at all.
Since you're not her guardian, because she's an adult, I get you're taking care of her, but we just have to have it here, like, from the
don't see what the big deal is. Maybe she has a distrust for the law enforcement, but so far, like from all the body cam footages that we've seen in interactions, they've just been respectful towards her. I haven't seen any weird like chicanery in the behind the scenes, you know, or anything like that, or them being duplicitous towards the family. They're just pretty straightforward.
No, he just told me not to.
I mean, there's nothing incriminating. It's a yes or no question.
What are y'all going to do about the hospital?
What about the hospital?
She said, what are you guys going to do about the hospital? I don't know if she's just in denial or something. Maybe she really doesn't want to believe that her daughter did what she did or allegedly did. But I mean, at the end of the day, like, you know, for sure your daughter put the baby in the trash bin unless she's saying that she didn't do it. Like, why would has your daughter explained to you yet why she did that? Why put the baby in a trash bin, even if it is a stillborn? Like, how could you treat a corpse like that? Or a baby that was alive a couple seconds ago or a couple minutes ago?
We were there over 2.5 hours. We went for help. They gave my daughter morphine and Tramadol and Zofran and...
I wonder if Rosa got morphine when she gave birth to Alexee. Because they had morphine back then.
Never went in for her. What are y'all going to do about the hospital?
Well, ma'am, it's an ongoing investigation. And since you're not, your daughter is the one involved in that, not you.
But I was there the whole time
I
as
understand
well.
that. If you would like to talk to us, you're more than welcome to come talk to us about it.
She's an adult, and so we have to hear it from her. I know you've already told me before, but we just need to hear it from her.
Yes, and it's just a yes or no question. Alexee, would you like to sit down and talk with us about what happened? If she says, no, I don't want to do it without my lawyer, then that's it. Then we're done. We're going to talk.
I mean, if she doesn't want to talk with the cops, like if Rosa doesn't want to talk to the cops, Rosa should just go back inside. There's no point of her standing out there and communicating with the cops. She should just go inside and just ignore what the cops did.
Turn around, get in our pickup, and drive off.
You're not going to be bothering her. It's going
Nope.
on, are you?
Nope. That's why.
We will, because I have to hear it from her. Such thing as I have to hear it from her. Eventually.
Okay, so I just wanted to bring up the 3 videos where she talks about the hospital. What about the hospital? Hospital. You know, which is kind of previewing that she had the intentions of suing the hospital from the get-go. So I'm going to pull up this document right here. Black really quick. Window capture. When is Taylor Ship Business? That's like next month, right? Okay. I'm trying to figure out what's coming up. I think this Friday though, I think there should be some coworker stuff happening this Friday. Acrobat. All right, let's read the complaint. Covering it. Okay. So this was filed maybe July 26th. Complaint for wrongful death and punitive damages. Shout out to Law and Crime. I think they were the ones who uploaded this. Comes now plaintiff Arthur Bustos as wrongful death personal representative of the estate of Alex Ray Fierro. That is the name of Alexee's newborn. Deceased. By and through his undersigned counsel of record and states the following as his complaint for wrongful death and punitive damages against the Artesia Special Hospital District. Going to be called AGH or Hospital. Heather Marshall Vasquez. You guys remember who Heather Marshall Vasquez is? Oh, should I have that up? Heather Marshall Vasquez. She was the ER doctor that was interviewed. Do we have it? Yeah. She was the one that did the video interview. Just a reminder, this is who she is. Man.
Name and
That's a doctor right there. So she was actually the one that was present as well. Remember when the body cam footage of the cops going into the room where Alexee was in? She was the doctor who was standing sort of like next to Rosa. And when Rosa was going after Alexee Trevizo verbally, she kind of like stopped it because she wants to make sure that Alexee Trevizo is okay and she gets like proper care and everything like that. Oh boy. All right, let's read the rest of it. So they're going after the hospital, specifically the ER doctor as well. And then they're probably going to go after all the nurses and anyone who want to contact because there's John and Jane Doe through A through F and John Doe Companies G through K. So here are the parties. Plaintiff Arthur Bustos is a citizen of the state of New Mexico and is a resident of San Miguel County, New Mexico. Arthur Bustos has previously been appointed as the wrongful death representative of the estate of Alex Ray Fierro. We're going to refer to them as the decedent or Alex. Defendant, Artesia Special Hospital District is authorized to do business in the state of Mexico and is doing so in the business in the state of Mexico. Upon belief and information, Artesia Special District Hospital was doing business as Artesia General Hospital, Eddy County, New Mexico, and all materials times hereafter. Defendant doctor, upon information and belief, is a medical doctor doing business in the state of Mexico. The hospital and the doctor acted by and through their agents, partners, office, and employees and are responsible for their actions or omissions to the doctrines of respondeat, surge, superior, or agency. John and Jane Does, which I think are probably the nurses and the rest of the hospital staff, inclusive, are unknown persons who may have treated, cared for, participated in decisions, or otherwise have contributed to the death of a decedent or otherwise violated the rights of the decedent and as the discovery proceeds. If the names of such individuals determined, they will be substituted for John and Jane Doe designations. Skip over that. All right, let's get into the factual background. So, again, this was back in 2023, January 26. Alexee Trevizo, we're going to name her Alexee, the surviving mother of the decedent, attended Artesia High School as a student, was on the cheer squad. There's lots of pictures on the internet that has pictures of her she was very active during her time of pregnancy. She was cheerleading. She went to, I think she was like working out. She went to cheer practice. And you can see from the pictures that it was pretty fucking active. Like you got to lift people up. You got to bend over. You got to like jump around and do all this other stuff. Attended Artesia High School cheer practice on January 26, 2023. So the day that she gave birth was also the day that she went to cheer practice. Now, same day at approximately 11:47 p.m., Alexee was taken to AGH emergency department complaining of low back pain and abdominal pain. Now, on a pain level of 1 through 10, with 10 being the greatest, Alexee stated that she was a 10. Alexee is a female of childbearing age. She's 19 years old. Now, I don't know if we're going to believe this part, but Alexee had regular menses. So they're saying that she had normal menstruation cycle. In one of the body cam footages, Rosa said that she was buying Alexee pads and like she was getting her periods, when Alexee was denying that she was pregnant. Alexee said she was a virgin, but I think Gary Mitchell's her lawyer. And in one of the interviews, Gary Mitchell was like, my client never said that she was a virgin. So it's basically her word against all the other healthcare workers' words. And they said that, she kept saying that she was a virgin. She's not pregnant. She doesn't have sex, da-da-da-da. But lawyer for Alexee Trevizo was like, she never said that. What are you talking about? She had used birth controls, pills, and condoms. Now, I wish they would clarify this because it's so vague. Had used birth controls. So we want to know, did she stop using birth controls and did she start taking weight loss pills? Because remember, one of the nurses did say that Alexee Trevizo was like, hey, what happens if you stop taking birth controls and start taking weight loss pills? And they're like, and then the detective was like, oh, why do you think she would ask that? And the nurse was like, well, it's kind of obvious, right? Because if you're someone who's pregnant, you want to hide that pregnancy and hide the pregnancy weight. Well, what are you going to do? You're probably going to take weight loss pills. Although if you look at the weight loss pills, I think it's said somewhere where you taking weight loss pills, you're not supposed to take it if you're pregnant. Like it just doesn't work that way, because if you are getting pregnant, you're supposed to be gaining that healthy baby. You're supposed to get your body ready for giving birth, and you're supposed to, oh my God, I'm sorry. My phone is like going off. It's driving me fucking crazy. Who the fuck is, why is it going off so much? I don't know if my microphone was picking that up, but that shit was triggering the shit out of me. I hate hearing notifications. Hi, Patty. How are you doing today? What a shame the hospital staff has to deal with this. Okay, so we're talking about birth controls and pills. So again, they're saying that she had used birth controls, pills, and condoms. But I want to know, did she stop using birth controls because she realized she was pregnant? Why would you stop using birth controls if you thought that you weren't pregnant or if you didn't know you're pregnant? So that's information that will maybe possibly come out later on. I don't know. I don't know how you're going to be able to track that unless she texted someone saying like, hey, I stopped taking birth control pills because, I'm taking weight loss control pills now. She worked at a minimum of 2 hours, 5 days per week, and had worked out on January 26, 2023. So did she continue working out and cheering because she truly didn't know that she was pregnant? Or did she just wanted to make it look like it was business as usual and didn't want to, if she stopped going to cheer practice, mom might be like, hey, what's going on? What's wrong with you? Like, why are you not cheerleading anymore? So now on January 27th is the day after, at approximately 12:05 a.m., Alexee was seen in the emergency department at AGH, at which time the attending physician was Heather Marshall Vasquez, MD, so ER doctor. Upon examination, Alexee complained of low back pain, told the doctor that she had been at cheerleading practice and felt like she needed to have a bowel movement, but was unable to do so, and further indicated that she was also experiencing abdominal pain. Alexee denied pregnancy and informed the doctor that she was on her period. So I wonder, when she says that she's on her period, I'm trying to think, because if she was on her period, then she would probably be wearing her pad at the time, or maybe wearing tampons at the time. I think usually when you get undressed, though, the doctors they're not going to be standing there watching you, Usually you get undressed and stuff like that. Like, they don't have access to, like, I don't know, like seeing, like, if you have like your tampon in, or like, your pad there. Maybe you could take off your tampon when you're in the bathroom and stuff like that. So she's saying that she was on her period. 19, Alexee was asked if she had undergone a pelvic exam before, and she told the staff of HGH that she had not. On January 27th at 12:18 a.m., medication was given to Alexee consisting of cyclobenzaprine and acetaminophen. So acetaminophen, that's for like pain relief. Cyclobenzaprine, I think it's like a muscle relaxant. On January 27, 2023 at 12:28 a.m., medication was given to Alexee consisting of sodium chloride. So that's like replenish your, I don't know, like I think your fluids or something. Replenish your fluids, electrolytes, things like that. Ketorolac. What the fuck was ketorolac again? Was it a pain reliever? Ondansetron, I think, is like for nausea. Morphine is for pain. What was ketorolac again? Ketorolac. To relieve moderately severe pain in adults, usually after surgery. Ketorolac is a class of medication called, non-steroids, like pain relievers. Okay. 22, a saline lock urinalysis was completed, but no specimen was... Oh, which one is Zofran? Because some of these are probably like generic names, right? A saline lock urinalysis was completed, but no specimen was received of HCG qual serum. A qualitative HCG blood test checks if there's a hormone called human chorionic gonadotropin in a person's blood. So that's the HCG, and that's usually like, I think when you do like the pregnancy test, when you pee on it, that's like what they're detecting, the HCG in your urine, right? Is that what it is? On January 27, 2023 at 12:28, lab tests were ordered, and such orders were entered at 12:30. At 12:28 a.m., a pregnancy serum test was ordered and collected at 12:30, received at 12:31, and reported at 12:51 by a call-out. Notice of results sent via computer to Chris Sanchez. And Chris Sanchez was one of the RNs that we saw in the body cam. Well, not the body cam footages. Well, yes, in the body cam footages, but in the interview as well with the detectives. At AGH, and the doctor showing positive for pregnancy. The doctors and nurses admit that at 12:51 a.m., they receive on their computers the notice of the results of the blood test showing that Alexee was pregnant. The medications that were given via IV of cyclobenzaprine, acetaminophen, sodium chloride, ketorolac, ondansetron, and morphine sulfate. And despite AGH, the doctors and nurses, knowing at 12:51 Alexee was pregnant, was continued that after the notice of her pregnancy. So you're telling me that a bunch of nurses and, a doctor, they knew that she was pregnant and they continued giving her all this medication anyways. Is it because it's okay to give medication like this to pregnant people? Like, are they following the standard of care? Are they really deviating? That's what they're going to have to show. They're going to have to show that the doctors and the nurses were deviating from the standard of care, and that they were being negligent, right? 27. The medication, including morphine, was not stopped after the defendant knew at 12:51 a.m. that Alexee was pregnant. Ketorolac, ondansetron, cyclobenzaprine, and morphine all have warnings regarding use if the patient is pregnant. I mean, that's so vague right there. All have warnings regarding use. Maybe it just says like, hey, there's a warning where if you're going to use these medications, make sure you use it under the direction of a doctor. I'm not quite sure. I mean, we could probably look it up what the warnings are, but I just find it very interesting how it's so vague here. Shouldn't they be a little bit more specific? On January 27, Alexee said that she needed to use the bathroom. A nurse removed the IV at 1:39 a.m. Alexee ran down the hall from her room to the public bathroom in the ER. At 1:40 a.m., Alexee's mother checked in on her, and she had not come out of the bathroom and checked in on her again at 1:49 a.m. At 1:56. So I don't know this timeline thing. I feel like the hospital staff. There's another timeline that we followed. It was like the security. No, it was in the police affidavit. I think. Yeah, I think it was in the arrest affidavit. The arrest affidavit viewed the security cam footages from the hospital, and it notated any time that people checked up on her, whether it was Alexee's mother or whether it was, people from the emergency staff. This document right here is making it seem like, oh, Alexee's mother checked on her twice. And then the only time that the hospital staff checked up on her was like way later and was only like once. Like, I don't know. I just feel like it's so shady. Like, obviously, the defense, they're going to file a response to this motion, right? But they're just missing out so much key information. So at 1:56, the emergency department staff at AGS checked on Alexee. One of the nurses got the key to unlock the bathroom door, but before the door was unlocked, Alexee exited the bathroom. I don't know. I mean, per the arrest affidavit, the hospital staff definitely checked up on her a couple times. At 1:57 a.m., Alexee exited the bathroom. No one assisted her as she walked back to the room she had been in. Are they throwing in that language because they're trying to make it seem like, oh, none of the hospital staff help my poor Alexee. I mean, you guys saw her in the camera footages, right? She walked out the bathroom as if nothing happened. Was she limping? She looked like she was in pain? No, she walked out, had a towel in her hand and just threw it. Like, she just walked out of there so scarily, eerily, nonchalantly after having given birth and, allegedly depositing her baby in a trash bin. Alexee gave birth unassisted. She could have had assistance, but she didn't use the call button, to a son while in the bathroom. Now, what information, chat? What are the information that we're missing here? What's one of the major information that we're missing here? Number 34, at 2:02 a.m., the doctor had already ordered an ultrasound to determine the status of the baby, and same was ordered for the doctors and nurses learned that Alexee had given birth. What are we missing? Nowhere here does it mention where her baby was found and in what. It's just like she gave birth in the bathroom. Okay. But I mean, of course, they don't want to include that information. She did give birth in the bathroom. However, they don't mention the baby was found in a trash bin, in a trash can bag, and it was tied at the top. At 2:38 a.m., the infant, Alex Ray Fierro, was pronounced dead by the defendant doctor. Again, it doesn't mention who was the one that found the baby. Who found the baby and how they found the baby. The hospital allowed the police into the room of Alexee with lapel cameras on and asked questions of Alexee and her mother that are protected by HIPAA laws and by the New Mexico Constitution laws, rules, statutes, and regulations. Now, this is where it gets interesting to me, because at this point, this became a criminal investigation. They found a dead baby in the bathroom. They called the police department to show up. And so are they trying to say that, like, hey, when police department showed up, they should have turned off the body cam footages because it violates HIPAA laws? Should the hospital not allowed the police officers to come in? 37, medical records, lab results, and videos of Alexee, her treatment or lack thereof at or by defendants without consent of Alexee, was released to the Artesia Police Department. But again, if it's a criminal investigation, would they not have access to that? Now, maybe if they're going after the police department saying they're like, hey, you shouldn't have released this to the public. Well, I don't know. I feel like if it's a body cam footage and there's a criminal investigation, I thought they do allow that. But that's where I'm not really quite sure. I'm not familiar with it. So I can't wait to hear the defense. I can't wait to hear their response. And maybe call it some bullshittery. But yeah. 38. Subsequently, the videos without the consent of Alexee, her attorneys, and or court were disclosed to the media, district attorney, Artesia Police Department, and have appeared on Facebook and other social media from numerous persons in the community, along with 3 major television networks, and have shown such confidential and private information that did not come from Alexee or her attorneys, and did not come from the consent of Alexee or her attorneys. The hospital violated the HIPAA laws by allowing of taking such videos and the release of protected health information. Again, allowing of taking such videos. These are security camera footages, and these are body cam footages from the police officers. Unless there's other footages out there that I haven't seen. I was thinking maybe this lawsuit was created by Gary Mitchell because it would make his client look better. However, we saw body cam footages of the mom threatening to sue the hospital and go after the police department 3 times already. So I think the genesis of it was probably from the mother. 40, the hospital doctor and hospital employees allowed the release of protected medical records and information, including records and videos taken at the hospital. The hospital employees and doctors were aware of the pregnancy at 12:51 a.m., failed to inform Alexee that she was pregnant, failed to take the necessary healthcare procedures and protocols for a pregnant woman who was at term pregnancy. So they are saying that the hospital failed to tell Alexee that she was pregnant. But I think before 12:51, from numerous hospital staff interviews, they were trying to tell her, like, hey, are you sure you're not pregnant? Are you sure you're a virgin? Are you sure you haven't had sex? Because, they obviously confronted her about that. There's a reason why the conversation of, oh, I'm a virgin, I'm taking birth control. Like, actually, I don't think she even mentioned the birth control pills when her mom was around. Because I don't think that was mentioned. But there was obviously a conversation that took place that prompted Alexee to say, I've never had sex. I'm a virgin. I'm not pregnant. So I feel like if the doctors are already kind of going back and forth with you about that, and with the mom as well, I feel like it's already kind of alluded that they, they're saying like, hey, you're pregnant. And she's like, no, I'm not pregnant. But I don't know. I wasn't there. But, just from listening from the hospital staff interviews, it seems like they were already telling her like, hey, you might be pregnant. She's like, no, I'm not pregnant. Number 42. The decedent died from the malpractice of defendants. Again, this document does not list where the newborn's body was found, how it was found. It's not like the mother even said anything to the hospital staff like, hey, I gave birth and I don't know what to do. My newborn is in the bathroom. What do I do? She didn't say shit. One of the hospital staff said that after she came out from the bathroom, she said that she was, oh, fuck. I watched it recently. I think she said that like when she came out of the bathroom, she was still saying that she was a virgin, Like she was still arguing that she wasn't pregnant. 43. Alexee was 19 years old at the time, 5 foot in height. Her weight was 126 pounds. Claims for relief, count 1 against the defendant hospital. 45. Hospital through admission policies and procedures were negligent and failing to exercise ordinary care, treatment, and diagnosis of Alexee Trevizo, thereby leading to the death of Alex Ray Fierro. Defendant hospital breaches duties by failure to perform timely, complete, and accurate assessment of Alexee. Hey, John, thank you so much. Yeah, she totally thought she passed a tumor, not gave birth. Like normal people do, just put the tumor in the trash bag and close it out of politeness. John, thank you so much for the 10. I do appreciate that. I don't know. I wish we had the interrogation videos of Alexee Trevizo, but I don't think there really is any because by the time the detectives may have spoken to her or wanted to speak to her, she probably had lawyered up by then. But it'd be very interesting to see if there was an interrogation video and, see how she would have responded to it. But we don't really have that. We just have a little bit of like what she said in the body cam footages. So are they anticipating the hospital will mention the parts they're leaving out when this is in front of a judge? They're hoping this goes to a jury, I guess, but I just don't I don't see how this could look good to a jury. They really have to prove that the medication that she was receiving was like negligent, and maybe they gave her like such a high dose that it was like an abnormal amount. Like they really fucked up. But yeah, if they don't prove that part, I feel like this is just nothing. This is all just going to be a nothing burger. The hospital breaches duties by B, failure to follow guidelines or practice that of a woman of a childbearing age complaining of low back pain and or abdominal pain is presumed pregnant until proven otherwise. Failure to allow guidelines and practice that a woman of a childbearing age who indicates that she has to go to the bathroom should be examined first to make sure she's certain that she's not pregnant giving birth. That is crazy to me. If I was at the hospital and I told the hospital, hey, I need to go to the bathroom. I need to take a shit right now. If the hospital was like, oh, wait a second, you can't go take a shit yet because we got to examine your body, make sure you're not pregnant, and make sure you're not going to secretly give birth in the bathroom. Who the fuck wrote this? So they need to make sure that she's not pregnant and that she's not going to secretly give birth in the bathroom. What is the call button for? D, failure to follow guidelines and practices that a woman known by the hospital doctor caregivers to be pregnant based on hospital and doctor tests should be examined before going to the bathroom, especially after max muscle relaxants and morphine. So is Alexee going to say that like, hey, I didn't know what a call button was. I didn't know where it is. I didn't know it was such a thing. Is she going to say that? But here's the thing. If the hospital staff checks up on you a couple of times and you ignored them, like let's say she went in the bathroom, no one checked up on her. Ooh, that could be a red flag right there. No one checked up on her. It's been 30 minutes. They just fucking forgot about her. That's where it's like, okay, that's some red flags right there. Might be some, some weird hospital, they're just really busy and they forgot about her. But the fact that they checked up on her, per the police arrest affidavit, they checked up on her multiple times. Even her mom checked up on her. I don't know how they're going to dodge that. Tam says, just from what her mom said, Lexi, I told you this. Why didn't you tell me? Tell me that she lies and keeps things from her mom. And she likely asked her before, too, that she was completely denied it all. Yeah. Because she was like, what was interesting was that in the body cam footage, when the police officer goes in there with the hospital staff and the ER doctor was like, we found a dead baby in the bathroom, the mom instinctively kind of attacked Alexee. Instinctively, you'd probably be like, oh my God, what happened? But the mom already knew there was already some fuckery going on with Alexee Trevizo. She knew her daughter was already up to something. That's why she went after her daughter ASAP. That was her reaction. That was her immediate reaction. The hospital is a safe haven hospital. She could have just handed the baby. Yep. I don't know. Some people were like, hey, maybe there's something mentally wrong with Alexee Trevizo. Maybe she's like mentally not there. I don't know. I think they were saying maybe like, oh, does she have autism or something like that? But like, again, like we want to know, like, where did she get these weight loss pills? Did she get them through her mom? Probably not. Mom seems pretty strict, but maybe she did. We don't know. Or did she find a way to get them somehow by being really resourceful? I don't know. But there's a lot of information that we don't know. But it's just a lot of I don't know. There's just a lot of shady stuff. E, failure to document accurate, factual, and complete information in the patient's permanent medical records regarding nursing care rendered. Failure to develop and implement an appropriate nursing plan for the care of a 19-year-old patient in the ER, complaining of low back pain, abdominal pain, and necessity of going to the bathroom. Failure to provide standard nursing interventions to prevent administration of medication and contraindicated medication to be administered to patient prior to an appropriate differential diagnosis. So anytime when I go to the doctors, the ER, if I go to, actually, I don't think, have I been in the ER? I've only really been in the ER. I've been to urgent care many times. But anytime when I go to the doctors and I have something, they're like, hey, one of the first things you do, you pee in a fucking cup. They're like, okay, let's see if you're pregnant before, we do anything. They usually check with women like, oh, let's see if you're pregnant. Even if you're not complaining about anything that might be like pregnancy symptoms related, right? Just like, oh, let's just see if you're pregnant. And that's what they did. They did the blood test, they did urine test. But like I said, unless someone came into the work that day and maybe they didn't have their 20 cups of coffee and they were just kind of like mentally somewhere else and they fucked up with the administration of the medication or something, I don't see how they're going to really win this. With the HIPAA thing, I'm not really familiar with it, so I'm kind of curious where that goes. 19, yep. Space Toast. What a great name. I like that. Space Toast goes coast to coast. Space Toast coast to coast. Failure to develop and implement an appropriate nursing plan, care of reporting, person reporting with the symptoms of Alexee. Failure to have at the top of the list a possibility pregnancy. I mean, there was a conversation that was being had about whether or not she could be pregnant, and there was denial, denial, denial. What was the hospital staff supposed to do at that point? Failure to provide standard nursing interventions to prevent administration of medication or contraindicated medication to a patient who is pregnant. Failure to hire medical providers who are qualified and adequately trained regarding diagnosis of pregnancy. Failure to hire medical providers who are qualified. Oh, sorry, I already read that. Who are qualified and adequately trained in regarding the necessity of performance of pelvic exams in delivering babies. One of the nurses or doctor, I forgot who, they mentioned that when they tried to do the pelvic exam, she was kind of like dodging them a little bit. She was kind of like, she was kind of like uncomfortable, didn't really want to be touched, because she probably knew what was up, and her mom was right there standing. I don't know what she expected out of going to the hospital, especially with her mom there. Like, did she really? I just don't understand what she expected. She was just trying to wing it, maybe. I don't know. Like, let me just wing it, and then hopefully I can get away with not them finding out that I'm pregnant. Like, I don't know what she was thinking. Hi, Gwendolyn. How are you doing today? Failure to have available necessary equipment to properly evaluate a woman of childbearing years to determine pregnancy and whether birth is imminent. Failure to implement and operate a medical record system to communicate patient status to an attending physician in a timely and proper manner. Because I don't think that doctors and nurses can be like, hey, like, I don't think they can force her to completely get undressed and to do like a maybe like a proper examination where she's like undressed from the bottom down, because she was probably maybe resistant to that, and that's why they did the urine test and the blood test, because they probably can't be like, hey, we need to force you to take off some of your clothes and we need to see if you're crowning or anything like that. I don't think they can like really force that. The HIPAA thing will fail. The police body cam is not the doctor sharing patient information. I think they're trying to say that they shouldn't have let the police come in with their body cam footages, with their body cam on their lapel. That's what it kind of sounded like they were alluding to. Failure to implement and operate a system which an attending physician and nurses communicate timely in an appropriate manner with the patient. Failure to ensure that nursing medical staff timely and properly identify pregnancy. Failure to implement a system that prevents isolation of the HIPAA laws. Failure to implement and operate a system that ensures the privacy of patients. Are we kind of like repeating some things? I feel like some of these are like doubles, no? Failure to implement and operate a system that requires a written consent prior to sharing a patient's healthcare information. Failure to implement and operate a system that requires written consent prior to sharing a patient's healthcare information. Failure to implement and operate a system that presents the release of HIPAA-protected information outside the hospital and those directly providing care to the patient. Aren't doctors allowed to be very general with, like, say, for example, can't doctors be like, oh, hey, like, yeah, someone came in the other day and put their baby in the trash bin. Aren't they allowed to say that, but they just can't name any names? So when Rosa mentions that it was circulating to the school, I wonder if the school, her classmates thought she was pregnant, and then by the time she came back to class, they're like, oh, wait a second. Guys, look, she's not pregnant anymore. Like, oh, no, what happened to her stomach? Like, it's gone. Like, I wonder if those were the rumors that were circulating. Like, I wonder what exactly were the rumors that were circulating. Was it like, oh, hey, I heard from somewhere in healthcare that Alexee went to the hospital, gave birth, and put it in the trash? Or was it just like, oh, hey, like, I don't know. Is she pregnant? No, but she doesn't look pregnant anymore. I wonder what happened. Like, I don't know. She just came back to school like nothing happened. So I don't know. That's where details really matter, right? But failure to have and supply necessary machinery and equipment to test for pregnancy. And let's see. 47. The treatment, care, and management of Alexee by the hospital during the events described in this complaint were reckless, wanton, and performed with utter disregard for the safety and welfare of Alex Ray Fierro. Alex Ray Fierro was dealt with the direct and proximate results of negligent acts and omissions of the defendant hospital, direct doctor, and healthcare providers of the defendant hospital. I wonder if it's such like because it's such a small town and people talk, I wonder if the family just felt like they had their backs against the wall and now they're just going to do everything they can to make themselves the victims. Kind of seems like it. Like, hey, look, hey, community, like, my daughter didn't do anything wrong. It's actually the hospital that fucked up, not us. Like, I wonder if this is just kind of like, I don't know, is it like denial? Is it they just feel like their backs are against the wall? Like, maybe everything? On the surface, this just sounds really bizarre to me. But, I mean, let them do their investigation because, I'm curious. I'm curious to see where this goes. I think they did a DNA test, and they did find out that what's the boyfriend's name? I think they did do a DNA test, and they found out that like he was the father. Where do we hear about that? Did Law and Crime mention it? Was it a court TV or something? Yeah, doctor and nurses were concerned about miscarriage or a tubal pregnancy. Yeah, I think they initially thought that like she might have been miscarriage when she had all that blood. And they were really concerned for her, and that's why they altered like the ultrasound. But once they realized she'd already given birth, it's like, well, what's the point of doing the ultrasound, right? That's why they were gonna I think they ordered an ultrasound. They found out she gave birth. They're like, okay, don't do the ultrasound. But I think they end up doing the ultrasound anyways. I don't remember why. Maybe to see if there's anything like left behind, possibly. The boyfriend signed the papers and did DNA testing to prove the boyfriend was a father. Yeah, I remember seeing that somewhere. I'm pretty sure that's verified. Devin. Oh yeah, that's his name. Devin. Yeah. Devin. I like that name. Did doctors, nurses, and staff who cared for Alexee were acting at all relevant times as employees, agents, over the The hospital is responsible for ensuring its healthcare providers are properly educated and trained so the patients do not suffer. And a baby is not born in a matter recited herein. I mean, she was given morphine. That's probably why she was able to give birth so easily in the bathroom, maybe. The morphine probably helped immensely. Otherwise, she probably would have been in so much pain. If anything, she might have been lucky that she got morphine. The defendant hospital should have training programs, written policies, and procedures. The dingo ate my baby. This reminds me of the story some years ago. Wait, I thought it was the dingo ate my baby. I thought it was just a meme. Is that a real thing? Isn't that just like a meme with not Crocodile Dundee. What was his name again? Oh, how could I forget his name? Crikey, the Australian guy. Isn't that the dingo ate my baby? No, it's not. Oh, it's a real case? Really? Was it really a dingo that ate someone's baby? Wait, I thought it was a meme. It's a real case? What? I thought it was like an Australian meme. Oh no. You have a corgi pit bull? Oh my god, dude. Corgi. I saw a corgi pit bull. Okay, I don't know if it's a corgi pit bull mix, but it was a pit bull that had a body of a corgi, and it was so adorable. I talked to the owner though. There's actually a legit breed. I don't know what it's called, but it's so fucking cute. It's like a little tiny little midget pit bull. I know, it's so adorable. It's a real story. It's a Meryl Streep movie. Oh my god, I just watched It's Complicated with Meryl Streep. Okay, I'll check it out then. I didn't know that. 20 years ago I was like a kid, so I could have sworn it was a meme. Wait, I don't know what they're called, but it's a pit bull that looks like a corgi. It is the cutest thing ever. She has a pit face and a corgi butt. Oh my god. Oh, did she have any hip issues or anything like that? Real case, but Seinfeld did a bit about it. You know, I couldn't get into Seinfeld. I actually have really bad memories of Seinfeld because we used to go to this babysitter's house and she was kind of abusive, and she used to make us watch Seinfeld. That's not why she's abusive, but she would do some crazy shit, man. Like, I don't know, she was wild. But yeah, I remember watching Seinfeld at her house, and that's why I can't watch Seinfeld. It reminds me of the crazy babysitter. I think it's a meme now because of the case. Wait, that sounds fucked up. What happened? A dingo? Okay, let me look up. What is a dingo? A dingo? Is that a kangaroo? Oh no, a dingo is a little... Did the dingo steal the baby and not harm it? If the dingo stole the baby and didn't harm it, then I can see why it's a meme. But if the dingo stole the baby and ate it, that's kind of fucked up. What? The mom fed the baby to the dog? What? Wait, why? She does get a catch in her hip sometimes. Oh my god. If you're in my Discord, please post pictures of your dogs or cats or whatever pets you guys have. They do not feed it? Okay, I'll just look it up myself then. The dingo ate my baby. Oh, a dingo supposedly ate a baby. The baby went missing. Wait, did the mom do something to the baby and then blame the dingo? They blamed the baby's disappearance on a dingo, but couldn't prove it. Oh no! So do people think that a mom was involved? I don't know, man. Like, if you guys, sometimes like when I'm just like browsing around looking for new cases, I go on crime newsfeed, and it is just so fucking depressing, dude. Like, there's some crazy ass people on there. And recently, I feel like there's just been a lot of cases of people just doing some really horrible shit to their babies. I don't know. I think there's a case that was happening right now where like a man like literally starved his baby to death. Like, why? I thought she was blamed for it and it turned out to be a dingo. Okay, you guys I'll have to look it up. It's an unsolved case. The baby disappeared. The mom alleged dingoes did it, but she was convicted of the baby's murder. She was later pardoned because there was not enough proof for conviction. What? What about the dad? Was there a dad or any other family members involved? It's an old story. Oh, wow. I had no idea. Yeesh. Back to this. 56. The defendant hospital should have training programs, written policies, and procedures in place to ensure patients such as Alexee were provided with the timely and proper medical care. I mean, I'm sure they do. Defendant hospital, through his agents, employees were required to use ordinary standard of care. Okay, there you go. They mentioned the ordinary standard of care. Of a reasonably prudent hospital would use in hiring, training, supervising, and granting privileges to a doctor's. Okay, that's the part where I'm interested in. Ordinary standard of care. When they gave her those medications and later on they found out that she was pregnant and they continued giving her that medication. Is that under like ordinary standard of care? Defendant hospitals through is agents and employees willfully, recklessly, and negligently provided Alexee inadequate medical services and violated the rules of standard of care through one or more remissions, acts of remission, including the following. I don't think we're gonna. This is basically just a copy and pasta, pretty much. Now they're going after the doctors, nurses, and staff. This is against the doctor, defendant Vasquez. They're saying that she intentionally, willfully, recklessly, negligently provided inadequate medical services, resulting in the death of Alexee Trevizo. Can you just imagine if it actually went the way the staff members said it went? Like, if we took their word for it and they went through such a traumatic fucking experience and then now they have to deal with the stress of being sued like this? Because, you know, the hospital may think that they didn't do anything wrong, but this could really affect the staff workers. Maybe their hours were cut. Maybe they're not going to make as much money. Like, I don't know. I feel like sometimes if it's a pending investigation, sometimes people's hours do be getting cut. Like, I don't know. And maybe some of these staff members really rely on, you know, like maybe like the housekeeper, for example, right? Relies on like, you know, working there a certain X amount of weeks, or the nurses, maybe even the doctor. I don't know, man. I feel like this could, even though it might not be their fault, we don't know. I mean, a lot of us are pretty sure we know, but I don't know, this could really fuck their shit up. This is a really stressful thing. Yep, intentionally, willfully. Plaintiff seeks damages, including the wrongful death damages provided under the statutory law in the state of Mexico, New Mexico, pre-judgment interest, post-judgment interest, and plaintiff's costs of suit. Defendant's acts and omissions complained of in the preceding paragraphs are believed to be an egregious nature and reckless, wanton, and total disregard of the rights and safety of Alexee Trevizo. Yikes. Gary Mitchell, which is her attorney, and then now they have another attorney here, Damon Richards. So I think Gary Mitchell, is that public defender? I think it is a public defender, right? Oh man, we'll see where this goes. But again, I just want to mention, you know, in this complaint, they don't mention where the newborn was found, how it was found. They don't mention that whatsoever. So we'll wait for the response. Oh, you have a plush blanket with a picture of a Labrador. That's what I want to do. I don't know. Like, Steve, I just want, like, I want Steve to be everywhere in the house. You know, Steve is gone physically, but I still want him here. I was gonna like make a bunch of mugs with all his like silly little faces on it. I think it'd be really cool to have a blanket as well. Like, I don't know. I still want Steve to be everywhere. I miss the little guy. Oh, he's the special lawyer from Rudoso that's been on the news outlet. Oh, I haven't seen him yet. I hope the jurors don't feel sorry for her. She looks like a 12-year-old. Once they find out, well, we found out. I don't know. I mean, again, there could be some information that we don't have access to where, I don't know, man. It's going to be a tough uphill battle for her. I'm going to use the bathroom really quick. All right, guys. That's Alexee Trevizo. That's the update. We're going to move on to Elaine Bretterhoff. We're just going to, resurrect her a little bit for the next couple of days.